guys. There's two videos being uploaded tonight. This is one of them, and I had asked on my Discord what they wanted me to do for the double upload tonight, and one of them said to read some poetry that I had wrote, or at least more of the poetry that I have written. So that's what we're gonna do here. So this is a very big trigger warning because a lot of my poetry dives deep into a lot of things that would trigger people. So once again, trigger warning. But yeah. So the first poem I chose to read is called Starry Night, which I had written this back in August 3rd, 2019. I sometimes stare at the night sky, hoping I could see another star in the sky, hoping that maybe we're staring at the same stars. Maybe your stars are brighter than mine. Maybe your stars are brighter than mine. Maybe mine aren't the same as yours at all. I could never tell, and I could never ask. Maybe I can't ask in fear of rejection. And would you go stargazing with me? No. Never mind, this sounds stupid. Maybe I'm stupid for wanting to do these things, like picnics or library dates. Maybe I'm lost in the past where people actually went to cheap places to have meaningful dates. I found the lucky star that I want to keep shining brighter than the rest. No matter how I see it, I want everyone else to see how perfect it is. I know you talk about the stars just the same as I do. You listen close to the sounds of nature while we gaze off into the sunset and glare into the endless sky. How come you talk to me about the stars like they're the only thing that matters? I thought I mattered too. Maybe not. The next poem I chose to read is called Wrongful Fate, and I wrote this in March 7th, 2020. I always felt this looming shadow of failure no matter how bright I shine. Like in a white room of nothingness but the bright future I have, there are still shadows that linger. I can never truly have a victory. I can never truly run from this. No matter who I meet, befriend, or love, no matter who changes me or accepts me, there's no real change. There's no real point. Like no matter what I do to change my destiny, I'm wrongfully changing the timeline and thrust back into the right place where I belong, among the losers bracket, among those who cry themselves to sleep at night knowing they can never succeed. No matter what girl or guy I want to love or marry, there's no point because my future consists of me either dead or lonely and suicidal. No matter what path I choose, it ends in failure. No matter who I love, they leave. Everyone who has ever told me they would never leave me has left me. This fate I'm trying to commit to where I'm actually with those who I enjoy is just false. And with that in mind, I still try to leave this life behind, hoping for a better future, knowing that I can never truly leave it behind. For each success that I have, I'm brought 3 failures. I'm brought 3 people who leave, 3 things that I fail at, and 3 obstacles in my path to salvation. I'm coming to the point where giving my blood to a God is the only answer. I'm wrong for changing my fate. I'm wrong for trying to escape my destiny, because my destiny is of being failure. This is the third and the final one that I'll read for this video. This is a heavy, extremely heavy trigger warning, so please beware. I call this Brainless, and I wrote this on April 25th, 2020. I can't remember a time I didn't want to just blow my brains out. Basically any time prior to 7th grade. Strange how young I was, and yet I still wanted to place the cold barrel of a gun to my forehead or in my mouth, and trembling in fear, anxiety, and adrenaline as I slowly pulled the heavy trigger and letting the bullet burst my skull like a piñata. Visceral, isn't it? The idea is such a strange one, yet it's intriguing to many just as much as it is to me. Like numerous times I've walked in a busy street without looking both ways, or the times I've played with sharp knives and only escaped with a scratch. The many times that I've escaped death. So many things, and yet I always bring myself to buying a gun and blowing my skull open. I'd make a statue out of it if I could. Lifelike. Just me in a chair, all plastered with bits of brain and large splats of blood across the wall, gun dangling off of my finger. Just me. Brainless. No pulse. No life. Nothingness. Now I bet you're thinking how I'm not hospitalized or for being psychotic or held against my will to prevent me from doing so, but nobody really knows. Not a single soul around me, and my household knows the extreme necessity to blow my fucking brains out. And it's been going on for 7 years now. It's crazy. A wonderful world, isn't it? Yet I cry myself to sleep. A wonderful world. Yet I resent myself. I'd grab a knife to slit my wrists open and bleed out, but instead tremble as the blade is pressed against my skin, only to throw it in the sink and cry until I can't cry anymore. Too much. Other times I just want to walk in any direction until there are blisters on my feet. My legs tremble from exhaustion and I fall to the ground in agony. Nobody would ever know where I went. It's a great plan. Never done it. Never will. The thoughts are still there. Probably still will be there when I'm in a chair. Brainless.